Sweet. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Sludge Underground. This is going to be a short little series of us touching with each of the finalists of the Battle for Wacken, South Africa. We've got the boys from Walk These Skies, who recently are the finalists from the Bailey's Heat. Guys, introduce yourselves. How are you feeling?
Hey guys, I'm Matt Nyland. I am the rhythm guitarist from Walk These Skies.
Hey guys, I'm Marcel. I'm the lead guitarist for Walk These Guys.
Sweet. And then how are you guys feeling about heading through to the Wacken finals?
Yeah, feeling good, man. It was a pretty good heat that we played against some pretty tough competition, if I'm honest. Like, it was definitely something where we thought while watching the bands, ooh, like this is going to be tough. And by the choice of the judges, we are going through, and we're extremely excited. And now we're all eyes on the prize.
Yeah, guys. So, I went to go cry in the car a few times because I was like, we're not going through. But yeah, it all worked out nicely, and I'm really excited. I'm like really excited. The energy in the band is crazy at the moment. We're working really hard. We're really working hard, and like just making sure that everything is lacquer.
Yeah, which slot did you guys get?
We were lucky we got drawn last, and it was like, okay, well, we're gonna have to make sure we close out this nut like really well. So it was both a relief and both like a little bit of pressure. So
We drew last, and I was like, okay, cool. Now we can kind of see what we're up against, and we can bring our A game, And we just had a jolt, dude. Like for us, it's all about having fun. So we had a lot of fun, and what will be. If we won, we won, and if we lost, we wouldn't have been too bummed about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like going last, you do have that opportunity for the anxiety to build up when like you said, you're watching the other bands and you're like, fuck. I think when we played in 2023, we played after Bleeding Spawn, and I remember just standing there like, oh man.
yeah, dude, I was there for that heat, and I was really proud that Thorns of Ivory won. But I can only imagine, like, well, I don't have to anymore. I've done it now. But it's like the pressure of, oh, okay, like this is really tough competition. But I was really proud of you guys, and it feels great to sort of experience it now, going to the finals and playing Sonage again, second time this year for us. So it's like a lot of big firsts happening at the same time.
How are you guys feeling about moving forward to the finals and the chances of potentially going through to Germany to represent South Africa? What's the general vibe amongst the band for that?
Yeah, man, I feel that if we were to take it, I think we would be extremely honored to represent SA. It's definitely something that I think any band in the finals doesn't take lightly if they were to get chosen. And I feel we are no exception in that regard. And definitely the vibe in the band is now that, okay, we've gone out and we've won the heat, which was a case of if we win, great. If we don't win, that's also okay. But now that we've gone through, I feel the vibe in the band is definitely going to be taking that positive energy of the win and turning it into productivity so that we can be as prepared as possible for May. And I feel that because we've done our heat in Feb, we've got a few months to prepare for this. So psychologically and physically getting in that space of, the team is ready now.
Yeah, I totally agree with Matt. Like totally agree with him. It's given us a different attitude as a band as well, seeing that all the hard work that we've been doing since like kind of returning, it's been paying off. Like we've been a bit distracted. Like to be honest, like very like in the first stages of the band, very distracted, and don't really know what we wanted to sound like and what we wanted to achieve. But coming back and you know gaining all this traction and kind of getting built up again and doing everything in the right way now has really opened our eyes a lot. And I feel like this is such a great opportunity to build up on that hype and just be a better band at the end of the day. Even if we lose, that's fine. Like we take it as an opportunity to grow. We take everything as an opportunity to grow now.
Yeah, man, that's a really like positive outlook on any of the given outcomes that could possibly happen from it. And at the end of the day, the show is just a jewel. It's a jewel to be a part of, and that final event is just it's something that's really fucking cool. And just like at this point, like with you guys saying that it's like it's really early. I mean, you guys, it's the second heat now that's passed, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's the second heat. So at this point, like it's very difficult because you wouldn't even know who you're up against at this point in time. So all you can really do is prepare and be as positive about it as you can. So that's pretty sick as well. I know it would make me anxious. Like I know for a fact I would also be like, oh fuck, who's? But you would look at the other lineups, and you, like, let's be honest, everyone like looks at those lineups and you have a good idea of like, yes, I think this band is going to go through. But at the same time, we've all been surprised in the past.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that, anybody can psych themselves out. And I feel that has maybe happened before because it's a battle of the bands at the end of the day. And, we've all in the music industry, I feel, have done enough of those to know what that feeling of, anxiety related to, oh, who are we up against? Like, have we done enough? Like, are we the best band we can be? And for me, I would like this experience to be different from that in the sense of, well, I dig being in this band. These guys are my best friends. These guys are my brothers. And honestly, as we've said before, the outcome shouldn't really matter. It should be, okay, we've got a job to do because now we've been picked to be here. And it would be, not ideal if we didn't take that opportunity full on, but also just enjoy ourselves and, keep this good energy going about in the band because I feel we're closer than ever. We're sounding better than ever. But as Marcel said, we are now honing that energy to just be like, okay, we know what our mission statement is now. We know what our sound is. We know what, is at stake here. So we want to turn any possible negative or anxious energy into positives. And I think that's the best thing you can do. So yeah, just not psych yourself out and just have as much fun as you can.
Yeah, that's it. I totally agree with everything you said. And I mean, at the end of the day, like we're all I see it as, yeah, the band's important. The band's really important, but our friendships, our relationships are more important. If we hate each other or we resent each other, what the hell's the point of being in a band? If we're gonna psych ourselves up and like get like salty with each other because oh you made a mistake, yeah, like we're not gonna enjoy the process. We're not gonna enjoy it. Like I'd rather enjoy it and lose than be so stuck up in my own ass and lose, because like and not enjoy the process, not enjoy anything that comes with playing these amazing shows. Um, it's very important that the relationships outside of the music is very important to me, and I've learned that.
It's funny that you mentioned that because, like, I crawling through the internet, I recently saw someone put up a comment. I think it was in regards to Sum 41 and their drummer leaving the band like 10 years ago, and it was something along the lines of people don't realize that being in a band is like being in a family situation dialed up to 11. Like you are spending so much time with these people, and like you're going to it's just like any sort of family dynamic, and you have to have a sort of a healthy way of discussing it. And I don't think enough people realize that. And like you said, that resentment can build up so quickly and so fucking violently that I mean, I'm pretty sure every one of us here has been in a situation where it has ended horribly.
Oh, dude, no, of course, bro. Like I've bookloads of stories that I can tell you about like previous bands and stuff where it didn't end well because money and the band comes first, and screw the friendships, and it starts becoming more of a corporate thing than anything else, and you can't find any enjoyment in it.
Walk These Skies with the new era that we're in, I feel definitely understands that everybody's got a role to play. Everybody has, something important to do here in order to make the sum of its parts actually a really good band. Or I want to say product, but in this case, it's a band. And, like all the things that need to be, tied up, whether it's admin or all finances or, promo or advertising or social media. It's like all those loose ends are finally being, very seriously dealt with, but not in a way that it's like everybody's at each other's throats or people are lying to each other. There's total transparency. And I feel all of those things have to be in place in a band if it is to succeed. You can't just pretend they don't exist. But I feel we've now, approached this differently and it's actually working. So thank goodness for that. I'd say this has been the most positive, time for the band, and I hope it continues.
If it's one thing I give you guys like a lot of credit for is your social media presence, and I do feel like that in this circumstance particularly is that is an advantage for you guys. Like I do feel like you've come into like your own stride in terms of like the type of content you guys make to market yourself. It can be really entertaining to watch
Thank you,
you and
man.
Marcel clown around, which is been a talking point in a few things actually that I've spoken about. Um,
Oh yeah.
but it's great. Like
Cringe.
I do like that you guys have broken it down into like manageable things that each person has sort of taken charge of, and that definitely in this circumstance helps a lot. How are you guys feeling as well about like this being a pan-African thing? How are you guys feeling about the potential of the other African bands that are going to be coming through? So from obviously like Angola, from Mozambique, from all over, from being involved in an event that has that diverse of a lineup.
I'm all for it. Like I believe that Africa as a whole has so many amazing bands. Like Lost Grave, they're from Mozambique, right? Yeah, they're from Mozambique. They're dude, they flippin' blew me away, man. Like when we played at Sonage, the Embleth Fest. I just stood there like, no fucking ways, dude. Like they're so good. And I believe that every country deserves a spot. Like honestly, every country deserves a spot in whatever, if it's a competition or a show or social media or whatever. Every band deserves a shot. And I can see that those guys work so hard to get where they want to be, because not all countries have the same opportunities as we do. People like to say, oh, South Africa, it's like a shit country or whatever, but it's actually, dude, if you look at and compare, there's a lot more opportunities here. And I believe that every other country deserves those opportunities. Dude, like I had a chat with the folks and they were so humble and so cool and so friendly that like I gained so much damn respect for them. And I do believe that, like it doesn't matter from what corner of the world you are, like you deserve a fair fucking chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I
100%.
100% agree.
Hell yeah.
You get an idea. You get an idea of like when you speak to those guys and you see them, and you get an idea of like kind of what a place of privilege we sort of have that we can host it, that we can even get them involved. And I agree with you 100%. Yes, we sit and we bitch a lot about our scene and about our country, but at the same time, like we do have a lot more opportunities than they do, and man, yeah, if we can at least give something back to that, I 100% agree. They deserve it too.
Totally.
And man, how do the threes and sevens boys feel about the Walk These Guys taking off to potentially head over to Germany? I mean, I think Walk These Guys, threes and sevens recently went over to Germany to play some shows, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, dude, like, look, Murray's in the UK. He's coming out because we're playing Misty Waters soon. But yeah, Loz is super keen. Like Loz came through to the Heat, he came through to the Emily Fest. So Loz digs the band, dude. Like so does Murray. So it's like I just said, well, Murray, if you're gonna be in the UK a lot, I'm gonna have to be in other bands. And it just so happens that Walk These Guys wanted me back. So I'm like, all right, no, I'm happy. So if anything, I want to go back like so badly. Like we must win, guys. I want to go. It's a different part of Germany too.
Yeah, like I think it's like an interesting perspective because not a lot of the bands that actually have won have any experience playing internationally. Like if I'm thinking about it, like there's very few of the bands who have gone over who have ever played internationally before. I don't think the Middle Grounds boys had played internationally before, nor had the Sunken State boys. Um, so that would be like a bit of an interesting. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you'd be the only one in Walkie Skies who'd ever played
Yeah,
overseas.
yeah. We were actually laughing about it the other night, and I was saying that, hey, at least I know how to get a visa for Germany. I've done this before. It's not as scary for me, and I know that certain things are required, and so now I'm very much gonna be, guys, please fucking get your passport sorted, because if you don't, well, you can't go. You know, it's like it's a it's a stressful thing, but it's like when it starts getting real like that, you know, a lot of things can go through your mind of, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? Luckily, this is a case where I'm like, hey, we can do this. You know, everybody's in the country. If you have the passport, that's a great place to start. You know, the money, sure, but if you can't do anything if you don't even have the passport. So now I'm like, guys, please sort out your passports now that we know we're going to the final. You know, because you get
Yeah.
to the final, you win. You don't have the passport. Sorry, it's too late. You know, South Africa doesn't work on days. You know, we work on months, so we got time
Yeah,
to get it sorted.
That is actually probably some of the most solid advice and most realistic advice I've ever heard in regards to this entire thing. And yeah, that alone qualifies you. So
The advice is definitely, be prepared. And I mean, it says so on the website when you apply that, there are certain things you're going to have to cover. But I feel like the passports is definitely, literally that. Like, you can't pass anything if you don't have that. And I think maybe bands who might qualify in April with very little time before the finals, and then if they win the finals, it's like, oh well, now we don't have any admin sorted. At least in this case, there's time to prepare for that.
yeah, that is probably the most sound piece of advice. And then on that note, lads, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with me today about your feelings on this. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the finals and seeing how it plays out. And yeah, all the best, man.
dude, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, bro. It's always nice to chat to you, and hope to see you at the finals.
If these gut-wrenching